being on some chill.
What up? Your boy Chili back. Chili Soupy still running. Got to be the longest episodic thing that like is going on in high school football, maybe nationwide. I'm not sure. But it's only because I got a pretty cool crew of characters. My guy Beetlejuice, my guy Gridiron with his Inside the Number segment, and Beetlejuice always be trying to shift his segment around to try to see if he can get that number one spot and beat Gridiron out, because he's sneakily competitive. You'd be surprised at the competitiveness of young Adam Beetle. But I'm gonna have him jump on here in a second. One thing I did want to talk about is there's All-Star Weekend stuff, the festivities. And the only reason, not the only reason, but one of the reasons I want to talk about is, one, the Suns are super successful right now. Beetle's super happy, and he loves that because he clips every time that I talk crazy about them. And there's nothing crazy for me to say because they already went past 30 wins. But for the record, there's been numerous shows. And I got some people, a very, very few, small portion of the Chili two-piece population that has my back on this. I did raise that up to about 33 to 35 victories. But I know that y'all don't want to give me the credit for it. So I know that Beetle and Gridiron don't really want to give me the credit for that. So I'm stuck at the 30 victories thing that I said right at the beginning. But I did change it. After I went and saw how exciting they were. But anyways, this USA versus the world format, I love. I thought that it was absolutely fantastic up until it became the old guys versus the young guys. And then the old guys got washed because they were just tired. They just ran too much, because I think they ran back to back. So it was kind of awful for them. Anyways, All-Star Weekend coming to town next year. So hey, we got to be ready to have our city on point and make sure that we're all out there doing something productive for the weekend. I've had a handful of folks hit me up about like the shoe thing, maybe do like a little display, not of my collection personally, but there's a handful of shops out there, the Common Hypes, the guest lists. They are going to do some things, and they've reached out and asked if I wanted to participate. Listen, I am not where Fat Joe and Perfect Pair and some of those guys are with their collections. So if you guys know those names and you guys know that like this stuff doesn't like stack up, but for the average human, I can definitely compete in the shoe game. I got some things in my closet, given, blessed, if you will. So there's that. But I'm super excited. By the way, it is also Chinese New Year's. The Lunar New Year is officially upon us. I went and grabbed some hot pot with my folks, and I got this authentic, freshly squeezed watermelon juice. And you can like kind of see the pulpiness of it. It's from the Hidalao hot pot. I hope I pronounced that right. Don't destroy my Asianness. My mom is Chinese, so I partake in all this stuff. Hidalao, happy now. Which you guys are all going to be happy now because I tried to appease our guy Adam Beetle. Breaking news, and I'm going to allow him to jump on before Gridiron, because that's a thing to Beetle. He is trying to have the number one spot on the two-piece. We'll see if that ever happens. I think Gridiron's got that thing in a stranglehold with the way that he sets up his segment. So anyways, without further ado, we do got our guy waiting in the lobby, Beetlejuice, with a lot of stuff that he wants to talk about, sevens related, which he hates. But Beetlejuice coming up. Just hang out for about 20 seconds. Beetlejuice, there he is.
I just wanted to be clear. I'm in no competition with Gridiron whatsoever. He can have the number one spot. I'm just gonna go watch Texas Tech wipe the floor against ASU later. So,
oh, dude, don't say
I
that.
had to get in.
Why would you say that? Come on, man. Dang. Hey, listen, we're trying to see Bobby be successful. It might happen, but we are trying to see Bobby be successful in his going away party, right? Like, because that's kind of what that's where we're at. Listen, I'm a huge Bobby fan. An actual fan. I'm being transparent here.
So. Doug Holler from The Athletic wrote a great article this morning, or he put it out this morning. Okay. Bobby Hurley basically said that he thinks he's in his prime. So I don't know about that, but I mean, if that's what he believes, then I guess that's what Bobby says.
He might be in his prime, but man, this has been a struggle and painful to watch this past season, especially he's got a stretch of games that's been hard on all of us, Sun Devils fans and just basketball purists in general. The press conferences, the post game press conferences. Beetle, you've been in some of those.
So I was in the Colorado one, right?
Yeah. How hard is it for you to watch? Like,
I mean,
I know you're not trying to be like a fan. You're not like in the same situation that I am, but like, it's got to be tough just sitting there, like listening to him pour out, like, we're getting rebound. We suck at rebounding. Probably not going to get better.
I mean, to be honest, it's the things I should say, complains, or not necessarily complains, but just, isn't happy about or grudges about, are the same things he's been complaining and grudging about for the last couple of years, right? It kind of just feels like the lingering problems that ASU is having this season tend to be lingering problems that happen with every ASU team throughout the course of a year. And I think that's just honestly the case for a lot of teams, especially in ASU's case, is that they don't have as strong as the NIL foundation as some of the other teams in college basketball, which when you have teams like UConn, for example, or Gonzaga or St. John's, who are all in on, funding their basketball program rather than, other athletics they have, it can make things incredibly complicated. And I think Bobby Hurley is a guy too that, like, you look back at some of those teams that were really good, like the teams with Shannon Evans and Cody Justice and Trey Holder, and then the Remy Martin teams and then the Lou Dort teams. Those teams were good because they had so much retention year after year. They had so many guys that were coming back. It was enough for Bobby to build a system. Bobby's had to rebuild these ASU teams, like all 5 of these teams, the last 5 years since COVID.
You brought this up, and listen, we're not trying to have another Sun Devil Bobby Hurley segment here, but right. Since Beetle did bring up that he's going to the game and stuff like that, blah 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 blah. You did bring up last week though that the biggest problem has been since the pandemic, like it all came crashing down, like for Bobby since the pandemic, and I find that like so weird because he's still been able to attract very very good talent, very very high level talent in recruiting, and guys seem super capable early on in the season, and then the wheels just fall off randomly. Like all of a sudden, like rebounding's an issue. All of a sudden, this thing's an issue. All of a sudden, guys don't want to play hard.
Right. I think that 2019 season just sort of changed the trajectory, because if you look at that team and then look at the recruits they brought in from that 2020 class, Josh Christopher, Marcus Bagley, they had a couple of guys. Like, I just think if you would have been riding the momentum of a season in which you probably would have ended up in the NCAA tournament, plus adding on the fact that you had all these 4-star prospects coming in, ASU would have gone like this, and then they kind of just slowly started to go like this on a decline in a sense. They did make the tournament that 23 year, but yeah,
it didn't. The excitement didn't last long. All right, something that we are super excited about, and that we are going to get into, even though my guy has a disdain for the sport, at least from January to like May, because I know in June, since you are the face and voice of one of these big Sevens events, you absolutely love it. We're going to talk about some Sevens football and some guys that are absolutely balling right now. So without further ado, we are going to talk about who should we talk about first? Oh, I got one. We are going to talk about these guys. Valley's finest, absolutely doing a thing right now. They got a couple kids that you absolutely love what you've seen so far or watch the highlights of. One of them being Dane Silver. And I'll let you get into that. Dane's one of my favorite quarterbacks in the 2018.
Yeah, I really feel like since the start of sevens, I feel like I've seen Dane sort of evolve, and he just feels a lot more comfortable. And I don't know if that's just coming off a year where you finally got to play football. He missed his freshman year due to an injury, and then was able to play a sophomore year, and now he's transitioning into a new school and a new system. So I don't know if this is just a confidence thing for him, but when you watch him play, and I've watched some of his highlights, it just feels like he's going through his progressions and just making strides as you would want a quarterback to as they grow and they get older. He's got one offer from Northern Arizona right now. I would expect, now that he is at Red Mountain, I'm saying there's going to be a lot more college eyes on a 6A school than a 4A school. And just some of the talent that Red Mountain has, and also some of the other talent they have on that Valley Finest team. There's a kid that came in from Washington. His name's Caden Weaver, who I think is going to complement Dane very well at Red Mountain. That's a duo that's been tearing it up in the sevens, and a duo I think will carry over to the high school football season. So, me and my sevens, I don't tend to be a big fan of club sevens just because we don't get to see a lot of these kids play with each other on the teams they play with on Friday nights. But this particular duo in the case is one of those duos we're going to get to see translate from the club realm to the Friday night realm.
Yeah. Hey, Dane's going to have to sit the first 5 though.
Yeah.
For sure. And Caden obviously probably won't because he transferred from Washington. Just out of curiosity, just kind of speculating, and I'm sure Gridiron's probably going to clip this numbers wise. How many times do you think they hook up for touchdowns in the regular season, in the 5-game regular season that they will get, barring injuries and things like that? What are you expecting out of these two? Like, how high is the ceiling really?
I think a realistic number is 4 to 5.
Okay, that's fair. I think Weaver's going to be an absolute problem for people, and
he's going to have more than 4 or 5 touchdowns on the season. But I think with Dane alone, he'll connect for sure 4 or 5.
100%. And you mentioned a 6A school will get more eyes than a 4A school. Listen, I know for a fact that as long as I don't want to just paint it on the 6A 4A thing, but the coaches are doing the work, the colleges are coming also. So it's also on the coaches to make sure that they can take advantage of the talent that they have that's there. But we all think, and we've all thought this for a long time. You thought so at Flight Club even a couple years ago. Dude, Dane is going to be an absolute dude and should be one of those 10, 12, 15, 20 offer guys with D1 opportunities.
I mean, to put it simply, he's gotten better every time I've watched him in person, which should be the goal. I mean, honestly, if you think, I think whether you're in my position, you're a college coach, you're an analyst, you're a scout, whatever, whenever you watch a player over the course of, months, years, whatever, I feel like every time you see them, you should be able to point out something that they're better at than before.
Yeah. Hey, a kid that's been transitioning, moving along now. We got to talk about, hey, look, we got to share the sugar a little bit. So we're going to talk about a handful of kids here. And one of them is this kid who has been missing for a while. He had to sit out the entire year last year. The transfer rule kind of got him. Waiting for his little graphic to come up. This kid's been an absolute problem, an absolute nightmare on the 7th Circuit so far.
I mean, look at this catch, man.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Makai Nelson has been a problem. I watched him his freshman year at Chandler, and he was absolutely nasty. Was waiting for him to get loose at Mountain Point. I'm hearing some things, but I am super excited to watch him play this year as he will get all 10 games. Beetle, I will let you discuss whatever it is that you would like to discuss that you might know that maybe the rest of the world doesn't. But when I say that playmaker's on the move, this kid is definitely on the move. Look at him grabbing this one-hander and letting that dude know, like, hey, you just got bean top, my guy.
Yeah, I think Makai is going to have a lot of opportunities to make plays next season, surrounded by really great playmakers. I remember watching him for the first time actually during the summer at ASU, and he got named the MVP of that ASU sevens. And I think just from there, I knew that this kid was going to be something special. I'm really bummed that we didn't get to see him play next year, but that really just makes me all the more excited to see what he's going to do in the 26th season. Because I think if there's any kid that has a lot in store over the next couple months, especially in the spring, and if there's any player in particular, we always have 2 or 3 players during the spring that just explode with offers. This is going to be one of those kids. 100%, no doubt in my mind, you can lock it in.
Oh, he's got all the physical tools. He's got the mitts, and he's showing them during the 7th season. He's been playing with D1 5-star. He also played with that AZ Reign team, the Mountain Point team. He's going to have an absolutely fantastic 2027 quarterback pick to be paired up with, and we're super excited about that. I do know that you got to get on the move, so let's speed this along somewhat. We got one more that you do want to talk about, and I was out there for this. I got to watch these guys get loose and do their thing. I know that you're super excited about what you've seen out of Zarek Sidney and Jake Rogers. Jake Rogers has been phenomenal from what I've seen at Battle Vegas. And Zarek Sidney, man, that boy is back. He's back.
Yeah.
Like when Steph Curry said, "I am back." Like that's Zarek Sidney. He caught that touchdown right there. That's clipped over here. He actually caught that touchdown. I think I might be in the background somewhere, but I'm not sure. But absolutely phenomenal catch. Beetle, go ahead and talk about your guys.
Yeah, it's just quickly about Jake Rogers. It's good to see him kind of get comfortable and get a rhythm just like Dane. He's continuing to evolve and form into a great quarterback. And Zarek, like you mentioned, the kid's back. Had to miss a bit of time last season. But I think it's just so good to see him just committed to Washington, out there making plays and proving that, he's the guy and he's still do it. And he's not going to let anything hinder his abilities from being a great football player. I think he's going to come into next season with a little bit of a sort of redemption and a little bit of hunger to go out and really prove himself, even though, he's already committed as a 4-star. He doesn't have a whole lot to prove. I think he just wants to show the world truly what he's capable of.
I am putting up my top performers. I totally forgot to do this. I have the graphics. Zarek Sidney's definitely on there from Battle Vegas. It's all. Hey guys, listen. It's only like 9 days old, so just bear with me. Like we haven't gotten to Battle Houston yet, so until Battle Houston takes place, we are still solid. I am gonna post it up. But there was a ton of ballers out there. And by the way, just so everybody knows, Tucson Turf did finish this one off and finished off Cold Hearts and let them know who's reigning supreme. Tucson Turf currently the number 1 team in the country. Hey, they're loaded. They're loaded. And we got a handful of teams that are absolutely taking care of business. Is
Coben still coaching over there?
Yeah, Coben's still coaching. Maybe if you came out to check out an event or two, you wouldn't have to ask.
Hey, I just saw that Coben got married, so congrats to that. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, and he had the number 1 backfield in the NFL next year, hanging out with Bijan and Cam.
Oh yeah.
It's absolutely. Hey, 7v7 groomsmen. I'm betting on Coben.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna coach. So, I mean, dude, he's got Trenton to quarterback. He's playing receiver. Cam and Bijan can do their thing. I'm coaching.
Bro, Cam might go out there and play like middle linebacker or something and just.
Hey, they're going both ways, all of them. Bijan was a linebacker on that Tucson.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, so, you're right.
I'm telling you, and Coben goes both ways too. He can play some safety. Y'all sleeping, but no, man. Hey, it's good times. Hey, I'm gonna let you get up out of here and take care of the Texas Tech ASU game. Keep us all posted on the app. Make sure that we're all everybody's following along because everybody's watching for the breaking news for the next thing to break. Hey, real quick, since some things have been announced, obviously the Saguaro coaching job has been filled, and the Queen Creek coaching job has been filled. Real quick, your thoughts on both of those?
I love both of them. I've heard a lot of great things from Brandon Huffman over at 24/7 Sports about what Jason Ronquillo did at Yelm High School in Washington. I think Brandon got to get a view of that firsthand up close. I've heard nothing but great things. I've talked to Jason, and he just sounds super excited about the opportunity to get his own program again. And I absolutely do think that he is going to be a great person to be able to turn this thing around for Saguaro. Also surrounded by a great AD who they just hired in David Abrams. I think he's going to be a great part of that administration as well. And Queen Creek, I don't think Queen Creek could have hired a more qualified candidate than Steve Huber
Yeah, for
and
sure.
what he's
He did a great job
just
last year at Chandler.
yeah, absolutely. Being able to go to the Open in the first year with Ty Wisdom at the helm, and then just sort of already his resume in a sense is very impressive. It's good to see that Queen Creek is retaining their defensive coordinator and bringing in an OC who's very familiar with the program. And I think that's going to be key for Queen Creek in this transition period. Is that they have a lot of familiarity around that program. They've got a lot of youngsters coming back. A lot of youngsters that honestly I think can develop into really, really talented and skilled players, including their quarterback who they got in Sawyer Hales, who's another prospect who's really exciting. So I think this Queen Creek team is in a really, really good position to develop into a contender very, very quickly.
Yeah, an Open contender? Like at the top of the Open?
I don't know if I'm willing to put a label on that yet.
Well, when you say contender, I'm wondering, like, are you thinking that they're going to be kind of like
I will say
like what Castile did and compete at the top of the sticks? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I think for sure they have the capability to be a this year's Castile, I guess, in a sense you could say.
This year's Castile. Dang, that's big. That's big. What Bushman did was absolutely phenomenal.
And Castile's just going to get even better next year. I tell you what, man. Troy
Hodeggy, T, Gordy, they're gonna be tough. That team's gonna be tough. And those young guys all coming up, Simeon Sykes.
I'm really excited about Simeon Sykes. I saw he got an offer from Delaware State. I turned on a little bit of his film, and
he's fun. He's fun. They have like 3 or 4 kids. They have this Cam Cohen kid that's a nice little underneath receiver. Super deceptive. Like he can do some things. Nice mitts.
Was he a Rene Elizondo product out of Legends of Arizona?
I don't know, but I would think that Elizondo had a handful of kids out there, and it is very, very possible that Cohen was one of them. But Lanza also always has his hands in on the Castile Junior High kids, so I'm just never sure. So
got it.
Listen, Beetle, I'm gonna let you get up out of here and keep me posted on the Texas Tech ASU stuff. Hopefully Bobby can sneak this dub that you think is highly unlikely. Hey, your Suns are rolling. All-star festivity stuff. How impressed were you with did you get to watch any of it?
Well, to be honest, I didn't watch the dunk contest. Probably won't watch the dunk contest unless they actually make it good again.
With Mac McClung? Okay.
Yeah, with Mac McClung. Dude, Mac McClung is one of my favorite players of all time. He is a baller.
Of all time?
No.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, the dude was a baller in college.
He was legit. He was good.
I don't know how much I like the fact that they let Dame do the 3-point contest, considering he'd been out the whole year and hadn't played a game. I just, he did destroy everybody, but that makes me excited for next year with whatever Booker and Curry and Lillard and Thompson got planned for here in Phoenix.
Curry's committed.
It'd be cool. And I do like the same way. I love the format because this whole thing where, it's sort of the nations against each other. They did it for the NHL. And everybody who knows me closely knows that I'm not a big hockey guy at all. Not at all. My roommate can't stand the fact that I'm not a big hockey guy. But I loved watching the nations face off because it felt more personal in a sense. And so that's what I feel like this all-star format does, is it makes things a little bit more personal with Team USA versus the world. Because anytime Team USA is playing on a big stage, it's personal.
I will say it looked like there was a lot more effort, especially when the world team was out there. Hey, Wemby was getting hot out there. He was like, hey,
Wemby,
what is wrong with you?
I might be prepared to have the conversation that Wemby is fully in the next 2 to 3 years going to be the face of the NBA.
Fully going to be the face of the NBA. I don't know. I don't think I disagree with that. I think you're right. Wemby's an absolute stud. So, and he looked the part. He looked the part out there. So, there is that. All right, Beetle, I'm gonna let you get up out of here. Go do your thing, Beetlejuice.
Last time that I checked, it was 5 chains on my neck. Been said I'm a killer.
Hey, there he is. Hey, the handsomest guy in high school sports media, according to our guy Eric Newman, up there in Milwaukee, holding it down with Giannis Antetokounmpo, who did not play in the All Star game. Gridiron, did you get to check out any of the festivities? Did you watch your guy Book miss those last three?
I saw the highlight of him of his first one where he put up the big 30, and then the next one where he got off to a good start and then kind of faded in that last rack to be the 3-point champ, but kind of made for a cool story there with Lillard getting it, playing on the bad ACLs, played 0 games for Portland this season, but get to represent him and got to win it.
Played on the bad ACL, but absolutely was on fire. Yeah. So gotta show him the right amount of love, since he absolutely did his thing.
Also speaking of basketball, the AIA Open playoffs begin tomorrow night, and I bring this up. I'm getting to something else with it. It's $10 admission to the Open tournament, which begins tomorrow. There are tickets right now that you can get on SeatGeek for ASU Texas Tech that are $8.
Oh my God. Oh wow. Oh man. Well, listen. Me and Beetle talked about this a little bit, and I do hope that ASU can fix their issues, but it might be more competitive basketball in a sense if you go to one of these open games. So I encourage people to go out there and go check out the level of talent, the level of high school talent that we have out here. And I do. Hey, shout out to my guy Bishop Allen. My guy knows about swag and drip and all that stuff. Checking out. No, he just.
Oh, he's just talking about the background. Okay, I thought
he's just observing. He knows. He knows. Hopefully, I'm going to see him at one of these high level camps, Under Armour, the Nike opening, or
he's going to be at those high level camps.
Yeah, he will be, because he's high level himself. The Brophy product. And Beetle laughing about the SeatGeek thing, but Beetle don't pay for his tickets anyways, because he's part of the press, part of the media. So there's that. But yeah, man. Hey, I thought that the format of the All-Star game was super cool. I did like the
it got a lot of positive reviews nationwide for it, which is good, because the All-Star game has been taking a beating for several years now. So
as it should have been.
What's that?
As it should have been. It's been absolutely atrocious.
The NFL had the same thing happen, and then eventually
they still have that thing happening.
Well, no, they basically shelved it. I mean, you can't tell me that what they did over the Pro Bowl on that Tuesday night was anything close to what they used to do for a Pro Bowl. So,
oh my God, I don't.
How many tackles were there in that flag football game?
I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know. Gridiron, but what is the solution? How do you fix that thing? Like what would you suggest? What would you tell them?
Yeah,
how do you fix that?
I'm trying to think if anyone suffered like a significant injury in the Pro Bowl to where that's what kind of caused them, or if it was just the salaries getting higher and higher and people not wanting to risk a potential. Yeah, I mean, if you get an ACL injury in the Pro Bowl, you're out for most of the next season, right?
That's true. Well, that's why they got this flag football thing that they're doing.
February. If you're talking an 8-month, call it a 9-month rehab, you're looking at November.
With the boom of flag football, do you think that this is the current situation is the solution? Having these guys play flag football.
I can't imagine that it got. I mean, I know it was on a Tuesday night where there probably wasn't too much else on. I did not watch it, but so I can't imagine that got anything close to even a rating for a Thursday night game on Amazon. So,
well, what's it called? I was told many moons ago the AIA actually did all-star football events for the high school kids, and then they did away with it.
There used to be a game where they would play the North against the South. Now, this was a different time in terms of recruiting, because they used to play this game after the school year. It was like the beginning of June. And it was also, I'm pretty sure it was all seniors that were in the game. And obviously, this was before guys signed in December. You still had a February signing date. But for the most part, you didn't have people starting college early back then. And I don't remember if it was the elite of the elite were there at this game, and they combined all levels into one game. So you had some 2A, 3A guys in there on the same roster with some 6A, and the South team was largely made up of Tucson, but then you had some of the southern parts of the valley just to balance out the rosters a little bit, just because there's more schools obviously in the north. I would imagine that they probably did away with it, just because of what was happening, where guys are, maybe 2 months away from going to college to play, and then they're in this all-star game, which was a legit regular tackle football game. But it was probably been at least 20 years since they've had that. There was a few years where they put together a game between Arizona All-Stars and California, which was separate from the AIA, that they actually played in California. And they played that game like around the middle of January. And I remember them doing that. And that was, you didn't have your guys that signed in December for that one, but you certainly had some quality guys. And there was only one Arizona team that was made up in that, because then they played a California team.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think
I don't know that there's that much demand for an all-star game, so to say. But
what if we had a flag football game with all of our available high school guys?
I don't know.
What if we made some teams?
Recess chili is what that's called.
Oh man, absolutely. I mean, I guess it would just be 7-on-7s, right? Like it would just be, what we already have. So
it was called Flight Club, and we had it before their senior year.
Oh wow, wow! Oh man, that's hilarious. All right, hey, we do got some business to get to that we are going to talk about. We got a handful of kids that are seeing their stock soar, a handful of 27s, and we can't wait to talk about them and show them some love. And I'm just like, I'm never surprised by
we are
how much of our guys get so much attention. But here we got a list over here led by Will Menzel, the Chandler quarterback.
This is the third one of these we've done. We've had this many getting attention.
Yeah, a stock booming. These guys are many offer guys. Aiden Whitaker has been an absolute nightmare on the 7th Circuit. The defensive back athlete from McClintock. I think he's going to be a defensive back long term. I know he plays wide receiver, and I know he loves to disrespect those defensive backs by catching the ball on top of their head.
Well, he's been playing both sides this yes. winter, 7s. Yeah.
Shoot, he was playing quarterback last year at McClintock.
No, I was talking about just in 7s. Yeah. I'm aware he played quarterback. That was kind of out of necessity, but
doing his thing for the Dolphins. Dejan Yarbrough, the super talented offensive lineman from Basha, obviously recovering from his leg injury and still cooking. And then Nate Jones, the linebacker transfer over there at Desert Edge, is going to be an absolute recruiting gem. Gridiron, I'm going to let you go inside the numbers on all four of these guys and talk about a look at what you want to talk about.
We'll start with Will Menzel, 6'4", 205, quarterback out of Chandler, has a 4.10 GPA. Last season, 3,815 pass yards, 33 TD passes, and then a true dual threat. 741 rush yards and 17 touchdowns on the ground, leading the Wolves to the Open Division Championship game. He has 26 total offers. Just this month, in the month of February, he's gotten offers from Duke, Miami, and Washington. 4-star recruit by Rivals. Mobile quarterback with a prototypical frame. He also played in the Navy All-American Bowl. So speaking of All-Star games, that's something that the used to be called the U.S. Army All-American game, the one they play in San Antonio about the week of January. That they used to be the most elite prospects, and they would announce where they're going to go to school for at least a dozen of them. And this was when there was only one signing day in February. And so they kind of announced it, about 3 or 4 weeks before signing day. And now, because there's so many people that sign in December, you look at just Arizona, we had 57 guys sign with D1 programs in the month of December. So they've opened that up to juniors now. And so Will Menzel played in that game, did pretty well in it. And then during the month of January, during the evaluation period there, winter evaluation period. He threw for Dan Lanning from Oregon, Jed Fish for Washington, and Jeff Levy, the new Mississippi State coach, all took trips out here to Chandler to watch him play. Or watch him work out.
Man, he's an absolute nightmare. I got to watch him play a handful of games, and he absolutely cooked in most of the ones that I watched. I saw him play 3 regular season games, and I think he had about like 1,200 yards, maybe 1,300 yards of offense with maybe 15 total touchdowns. Crazy.
Yeah, I got him in that revenge game over Hamilton in the semifinals.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the semifinals. The semifinals for the Open. Had a big game there. Aiden Whitaker, 6'3", 190 from McClintock. We're going to call him an athlete. Quarterback, wide receiver, DB, has a 4.0 GPA. Last season, like I mentioned, he played some quarterback. 874 passing yards, 10 touchdowns. Also had 191 rush yards and 3 TDs, and then also 41 receiving yards. And he did all that in just 5 games after transferring from Saguaro. Has 7 total offers since January 20th. He's gotten UNLV, San Diego State, New Mexico, and Colorado State. Playing sevens for the AZ Dolphins this winter, both sides of the ball. Also playing varsity basketball, averaging 15 points per game. And they have their play-in game tomorrow night at Notre Dame Prep for moving on into the 5A bracket there. Sacrificed for the Chargers to play quarterback. Also spent some time at safety, kick and punt returner, and a little bit at wide receiver this past season for McClintock. You'd figure with their quarterback back, he probably won't be playing that. So we'll see if it's going to be kind of a mixture of wide receiver and DB for McClintock this season.
Man, Whitaker's an absolute nightmare. I love watching him do his thing. I got to watch him at Battle Vegas, so a small sample size of what he's capable of, and then I've watched him play most of his career. So I think that Coach Offenberger, I know he absolutely loves him, but I love him on defense. Just want to put that out there.
Dejan Yarborough, 6'6", 340, offensive tackle at Basha. Last season, helped the offensive line average 238 passing yards and 174 rush yards per game. So that's 412 yards. Bears went 12-1, Open State champions. And Dejan was second team All 6A Southern Region. He's a 4-star ranking from Rivals, has 23 total offers since January 29. That's included UCF, Kansas State, and Rutgers. He made a top 10 list here recently. That list includes ASU, Alabama, Cal, and Washington. He visited Minnesota last October, and unfortunately also in October suffered a fractured ankle that he had to have surgery on, cutting his season short there. But I'm sure he's going to be back 100% ready to go this season.
Man, Dejan, literally the big fella. When he came from Minnesota, he
moved here last summer. This was his first year at Basha.
Yeah, he was really tipping the scales, and that boy can move. For as big as he is, that boy moves extremely well. And I know that he's shed a lot of that bad dirty weight and stuff, or whatever they call it. And he's looking great. He's obviously, like you mentioned, just he got injured, but I think that he's going to be absolutely phenomenal and in great shape when his season starts up again this coming year. Yeah,
and when he came here from Minnesota, the school that he went to was kind of comparable to a 4A school in Arizona. So he came here with double-digit offers. But I think there was a little bit of maybe from the outside of a little prove it, and they move into the 6A and they open the season against Brophy, and they play that difficult schedule, and then the Open teams that are on their regular season schedule. And I think he certainly showed himself that he can play at the highest level of high school football that we have in the state. Next, I'm going to look at Nate Jones, 6'3", 225, an edge and a linebacker. Now at Desert Edge, was at Notre Dame Prep. He just transferred this winter. Last season with the Saints had 84 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 11.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. Has 9 total offers since January 27. He's gotten offers from UNLV, Kansas State, New Mexico, and San Diego State. Was the 5A Northeast Valley Player of the Year. One of the biggest game wreckers in 5A last year on the defense. And then he played running back the last 4 games. Notre Dame had some injuries. They had to put big number 57 in on offense to carry the ball. And in 4 games, he rushed for 494 yards and 8 touchdowns. He had a game against Maricopa, 17 carries for 247 yards and 3 TDs.
I watched him play a game last year, and he was taking carries, and man, folks were making business decisions out there and did not want to hit that man. They were like,
6'3", 225 coming at you there. Yeah, big 57.
Dude, him and at the time Gunnar Perry, who's now at Cactus Shadows, but him and Gunnar Perry were playing both ways, and Gunnar Perry's a linebacker.
Well, Gunnar Perry took quite a few carries during the season. Yeah,
they were man. That full house backfield was a full house for sure because them. Oh, watching Nate Jones rumble for these touchdowns was crazy. Just because he's so big and like nobody wanted him. It was insane. And real quick though, I do got a super special guest that is going to be joining us in a minute. Well, joining me. I'm going to chop it up with him because we got something super cool going on here in the state of Arizona, which I find fantastic. And he's a friend of the program, friend of the show. So I'm definitely going to want to show him some love. And he's been historically good with a lot of our Arizona guys. So when I can see him and he turns his camera on, then I'm going to switch to him. But Gridiron, we got a lot of guys that are doing some good things, and we are going to finish out February with some 27s. Next week, we're going to talk about more guys whose stock seems to be soaring. And I'm going to be out at a few camps this weekend, Elite 11 in LA. And
do we have any Arizona guys going out to LA?
I'm sure we do. I haven't seen the roster yet. Okay. I'll also be out at Nike's the opening. They're bringing that thing back. Super exclusive. I heard that it's only 100 athletes that they're inviting out there, and it's going to be absolutely crazy.
Are they doing like the regional stuff for that, and then doing a big one over the summer?
Yeah. So I think they're doing 4. They're doing 4 regional Nike opening events. With 100 total participants,
and that's for all positions, not just.
And then they're doing one big one in Oregon at the Nike facilities or something like that. Uncle Phil's going to come out, bless the kids with $10 million of Nike stuff to have them all commit to Oregon, and then try to get that natty over there. So, anyways, though,
they're getting close over there in Oregon.
Kind of. They're working on it. I want to shout out all my guys at Oregon that have always showed me love. So. I'm going to do that. Gridiron, I do got a special guest coming up. So I appreciate you and all that you've done in the community. And my special guest is familiar with the work that you do. And it's probably going to want you to come out and do a coin toss or something because of all the stuff that you've done to show love. He's going to show that love right back. I got the one and only Coach OTB, but you might know him better by his quote unquote human name, Coach Jay Allen. He coached over there at Central, was a DC, and now he has the unique opportunity to coach the newest Arena Football League team in the state of Arizona. And we're going to come right back with him and chop. It's pretty interesting, and I can't wait. And he's giving a lot of love back and showing love to a lot of Arizona guys that came through the Arizona high school football ranks. So Gridiron, I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna bring them on. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Gridiron always taking care of the community, manual, scoreboard, all that good stuff. He's probably gonna bring you out. He's probably gonna want to bring you out to have you do the coin toss for him one game. So stand by.
Is it in the Valley?
Yeah, they're playing games at Mullet Arena, but I gotta let him share some of this stuff because he wanted to break all this.
Yeah, you can do with him.
I'm over here.
Just making sure you were sending me to Yuma or something.
Oh man, no, he's gonna have you in there in Tempe, Arizona, comfortable in a plush luxury suite. Gridiron, I got to bring him on though. So
all right,
I know he's on a tight schedule. All right, Gridiron.
We'll see you next week.
All right, later.
Got everything. I got everything. Never mind what I got. Don't watch that 'cause I
man, from YouTube celebrity, the defensive coordinator over there at Central helped revive that program. Former arena superstar. I know it says Coach Jay Allen, but most people know you by Coach OTB. What's up, Coach?
What's up? What's up, Chili? What's up, Phoenix? How
Hey,
y'all doing, man?
man,
Man. Coach Jay Allen.
I gotta know, man. How did this whole thing come together? I did not hear a peep out of this. Then all of a sudden, I have 15 people blowing my phone up. Hey, your guy, Coach OTB, you see what's going on? And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like my heart sank first because it's always something bad when people hit you up like that. But then like I jumped on the gram and I'm seeing this Arizona Juggernauts Arena Football League thing popping off, and it's international. Like I am so fascinated by all of this. Let's start at the beginning. How did this start?
Well, shout out to my man Tom Mitchell over at the IAF. That's the pretty much the CEO, the owner of the league. My guy Dan Luss. Actually came through a mutual friend. You know, I've been coaching many moons in the Valley, played a lot of football, have coached in the arena before, defensive coordinator, defensive back coach. So just a lot of long ties and relationships, small world. So once they wanted to put a division, I guess a team in Arizona, you know, my name just pretty much got thrown in the hat. So definitely a blessing, definitely honor, just a privilege to be able to come back to the Valley, be able to do it in my own backyard. Like you said, a lot of relationships, a lot of good history here. So, you know, just more or less the best man for the job with this new league. It is an international league. So I have 10 teams overall, 5 teams in the States, 5 teams overseas. So definitely be a big thing coming back to the East Valley, right at there, you know, at your home turf with Mullet Stadium. That's where we play our home games. And so just, you know, everything come full circle. I always have my hand in the coaching hat. You know, everybody knows me from what I do with YouTube. But like you said, you know, I've been doing this many moons. I got on YouTube by coaches. So just come full circle, kept my name in the coach's hat, and they just came back to me.
Hey man, I gotta know. I do see some stuff going on now because now I have to pay attention to this. You are taking care of some of your Arizona high school football folks. I saw something with I believe Rashi Hodge. Since I saw stuff posted, I don't want to, you know, like how are you setting your team up, putting the roster together, grabbing your coaches, all that stuff, and people gotta have their passports right because international means that they're going. This is a different type of real opportunity. Like people are going to get to see the world and do this. Like back in the day, the NFL kind of tinkered with a world league type thing. This is different, and this is kind of in that same formula. How does this all work, and who are we going to be looking out for?
So just in a nutshell, it's an international league, and like you said, it's giving guys great opportunity. Arena's been around for a lot of years. Obviously, one of the more tenured programs in the Valley. So being able to go overseas and incorporate the arena game overseas, we've done a lot of 11-man type of leagues and stuff over there, like you said. But just be able to do a 8-man indoor league is definitely going to be a different thing. Guys definitely got to have their passport right. We'll be going over there to Scotland, June 27th, I believe we have a game over there. So it's just one of those things that we wanted to be different in this league. The owners of the league, the commissioners of the league, they just wanted to do things a little bit different. That's where the international field come in. It's the highest paid arena league right now, so a lot of these guys are getting a good. A lot of guys are getting a good paycheck or whatnot. A lot of incentives, bonus type incentives as far as the plays go, as far as making playoffs. End of the year, whoever wins the championship, just what a lot of guys think is cool. You know, the winning franchise or the winning program will get $2 million split amongst the team. So just a lot of different scenarios. Want to keep it traditional. We'll have the AF1 rules, the old Arena 1 rules, but you know, with a little bit of different sauces in there, a little different mixture. What's good about the league, we got some heavy hitter names in here. Bringing Coach Cy Burley. Cy Burley has a team in Utah. Coach
Also
Hollywood.
an Arizona product. Also an Arizona product.
That's why that shout out my guy Cy. Cy's done a lot of work in the Valley. Not only
is this
training.
all? Is this already a rivalry? Because I know Saya was a wide receiver, and I know that you were a defensive back. Is this going to get disrespectful during the games? Like, could he bean top you? Could he bean top you?
Hey, no, he definitely can't bean top me. He could probably run a whip route on the back of the wall and do something quick and in and out of his break. Saya was a dog. No, it's definitely going to turn into an instant rival because I know he's a competitor. I'm a competitor myself. Coach Hollywood got a lot of energy. As far as who I am to the community, to the valley, you know me, Chili. I got a lot of energy, a lot of passion. Very animated style of coaching. Size exact opposite, but he's still a passionate coach. So
For
it'll
sure.
create a friendly rivalry. A lot of good coaches in this league, though, that I do want to line up and go against. But everybody's trying to get to that bag at the end of the year and just be able to complement their program with a $2 million bonus. But I'm
How,
definitely good for the Valley. This is definitely a change up. And to speak to your point earlier, I'm absolutely going to be able to give guys like Rashi Hodge, Tavian Allen, some guys that you guys might have forgot about, but stayed active
never.
through the UFL, CFL, arena leagues. Give them an opportunity, at least bring them in a camp. Got to do this thing fair because I got a plethora of guys that I could just reach out to across the globe. So got to do this thing fair. Got to bring you in a camp. Got to compete for your spot. But by the grace of God, got the opportunity to be able to give these guys a chance again.
Hey, I know people are already trying to do the math, so I got to know the answer to this. How many players on your roster, and are the coaches factored into the split up of this $2 million and things like that?
So
how many
yeah.
how many ways is this cake going to be split? Because
So
I can't tell you. I already got like 7 people hitting me up asking me that exact question.
So we did have a conversation in the coaches meeting. So the pot is just pretty much made up of the roster. It's a 30-man roster, 20 being active. So the 20 that dressing, play, get paid, 10 on the practice squad. They technically don't get paid throughout the season.
But they'll
when
get
it comes,
chipped off.
they'll get chipped off when it comes to the season. So how I'm looking at doing it once we win this championship, is to be able to give everybody a base payout and then give incentives to my guys that made probably more of a production, more of an impact role players, might have been more tenured, but obviously take care of my staff members. What hasn't been put out there yet, we're screaming about guys like Rossi Hodge, but Chili, like I know I got one of the more ASU veteran 10 years arena legends as my offensive coordinator, and that's Jamal Miles. So
Oh,
Jamal Miles as
gee.
my offensive coordinator, so I want to be able to take care of guys like that. So, we're coming into this thing swinging. I got who else? Oh, Sheldon Augustine, a veteran receiver out of the IFL. Um, Arion Maxey Penn, a veteran DB. Rossi Haas, like I said, I'm bringing in a couple of pieces. Um, He's going to give Eddie McClendon a shot at opportunity as well.
Eddie from
Yeah, Eddie.
Mesa.
Yeah, Mason had a good season last year. Got some veterans out there that I'm bringing back in. Don't want to throw my
Okay.
quarterback options out there, but I'll bring about 3-4 quarterbacks in the camp and let them compete. Probably carry 2 on the roster. So we're trying to build this thing out properly so we could just compete on a high level right out the gate, man.
All right, man. Hey, how many games is the season going to be? How much are tickets going to be to get in? Things like that. Do you
So
know
it'll be a
that stuff?
10-game season, I believe. 5 home games, 5 away. The first game of the season for the league will be April 18th. We'll have a bye that week. Our first game will be away in Cincinnati. Our first home game, my mother's birthday, I can't forget, is May 2nd at Mullet Arena. I know they're selling season tickets as a package right now. I don't know how much the individual package is. I'll get that information over to you once I figure it out,
Okay.
once I be happy. But pretty much, I believe ticket sales are open for as season ticket holders, and they're going to be feasible. And here's another thing about that for the season ticket holders: whoever wins the playoffs or who wins the championship, the fans of the season ticket holders get their season tickets for the next year renewed free of charge.
You could have set this up anywhere. You could have chosen anywhere to be your home. Why Mullet Arena? Why was it important for you to bring this thing to Tempe?
So some of the people that's in the background, like I said, shout out to my guy Tom Mitchell. He's a native. He's an ASU guy. He's done a lot of leg work, pretty much a pioneer in the valley. A lot of things that he does. So ASU, I just believe is near and dear with him to him. Mullet Arena.
Okay.
I mean, I've played in a lot of arenas personally myself. Seen a lot of venues. When I say they took care of us, it's one of the most state of the art arenas. Just when it comes to the game day amenities and things like that. It's just one of the better upper echelon as arenas when it comes to being in the valley right now.
Okay.
So I think that's just pretty much having the connection and the ties with the owners and the GMs of the league, and just wanting to bring the arena back to the East Valley. Arena was a big thing in the East Valley, the Central Valley. It left that side of the town, so we just feel like it'd be a prime market to bring it back to that side of the town. And who doesn't love Tempe, Scottsdale area, ASU's right on the heart of campus? So it should be for fun times on Saturdays.
No, for sure. Hey, something that I got to know. I didn't even get this texted, but is there a plan to make sure that this thing goes multiple seasons? The business model. How much do you know about that? Like, I know that people are probably curious. Leagues go defunct quick if the money isn't managed right. And people heard the stories about some of these NFL ball players investing in arena teams, and then all of a sudden those things falling flat. Like, can you explain some of that stuff and how we all know that this is going to be safe and go on for years?
That's definitely a good question. So that's another thing. Not only that it was in my home backyard, presenting me with opportunities to be able to be a head coach of a program, not having the league, being able to give opportunities to guys that I've dealt with locally, but the format, the structure of the league, and just the business proposition that they had in plan set forth. So, we're already working on year 2 and year 1. A lot of the time, like I said, I played a lot of arena ball myself, and I played from the good leagues to the backyard leagues. And what happens in these situations is the bills aren't paid, Julie. So what I do know is that as far as this season, the bills are paid. So, we want to get to once we get to year 2, we'll work on year 3. But right now, they do have a 3-year plan set forth. Like I said, when I sat down with Tom Mitchell and Dan Luss and myself and just, went over everything when I was on board in the whole process, the fact that they did have stuff in place. And I'm not going to say they're too scared for money. Money doesn't seem to be the issue right now. Like I said, a lot of times when these things don't fall through, it's pretty much because the bills aren't paid.
Okay. All right. Hey, Coach Jay Allen, Coach OTB, what's up, Coach? I appreciate you for spending some time with us. I'm going to catch up with you down the line for sure, because we got to keep pumping this thing and make sure that everybody shows up, shows love, and gives back to you the same way that you gave to them opportunities and all that. We got to make sure that the high school community takes care of you the same way you took care of them. So, Coach Allen, I appreciate you so much for your time. All right.
Try out this weekend, February 21st. Guys that want to get off that couch, UFL, CFL, fresh out of college, we got to try out this Saturday, February 21st at Heroes Regional Park, 83rd Avenue in Bethany Home, Heroes Regional Park. That'll be at 8 o'clock in the morning. Registration starts. We'll take walk-up registrations as well. I have a link on all my social media websites as well. So
I'll retweet all that.
Yep. Guys are asking about a try. I do have a good amount of guys on my roster, but I'm always trying to find that diamond in the rough, so especially if it's a local guy. So, Saturday, February 21st, Heroes Regional Park, 83rd Avenue in Bethany and St. Glendale. But definitely always love, man. I appreciate you, man. What's up, fellas?
Hey, you know the deal.
Got everything, I got everything. That's all me. No help, that's all me.
Man, shout out to my guy, Coach Jay Allen, better known as Coach OTB. In case you guys missed it, because I think his internet was kind of getting a little bit shaky at the end, because he's so busy running that thing through the roof, doing all the interviews and stuff like that. I've seen him all over the place on YouTube, and a bunch of people trying to get with him and chop it up with him. Heroes Regional Park in Glendale, 8 a.m. on Saturday, the open tryout to join this Arizona Juggernauts franchise that will be playing their home games at Mullet Arena in Tempe, Arizona, on ASU's campus. I absolutely love this. And I know that Coach Allen is going to pour every ounce of himself into this thing to make this thing work, to make this thing pop. $2 million. You heard him. Going to be split about, I think he said about 20 ways or whatever, with coaches and stuff like that. So 20 players, and then so maybe like 30 ways or whatever. It is highly likely that like it's going to be split up in such a way that like it's going to be a $40,000 bonus, and then you got to pay some taxes. It's probably going to be light on that, so you might be walking away with like 30 grand. Like that's like a cool like part-time job or whatever to do some football full time. You get another job, stack it together, and shoot, if you do it right, you're making 6 figures. So just it's about balancing time and there's already a salary in place. So, I mean, you do this full time, and then, I don't know what it all looks like, but I'm sure the math will math. And Coach Jay Allen been helping folks out, helping kids out, with like life stuff post just high school sevens careers that they, worked with him, like even after, like he still works with like the Keely Ringos and some of those guys at the next level. And, I'm sure he's always there for the advice to help everybody live better and a little bit more comfortable. So, just shoot, I'm very, very invested and interested, and I want to show as much love as I can to this thing. So, if you guys got any questions, I believe it's OTB Elites on Twitter, and you can hit up I think it's Coach OTB on the Grammygram. Let me check real quick so I don't give anybody the wrong information. It is Coach OTB on the gram. And here's the information right here. Open tryout Saturday, February 21st, Heroes Regional Park, Field 1, 83rd and Bethany Home Road in Glendale, 8 a.m. And you can do your thing with the little what's it called? With the little QR code. $40 registration. Look, I think that's standard because they gotta, it costs to rent the park and stuff like that, or rent the field or whatever. And I don't think that's too bad to showcase what abilities that you have. Hopefully, get an opportunity. He said he's been pretty transparent. Got most of the roster filled out, but he's always looking for some gems, some diamonds in the rough. Guys get hurt, and he's going to need a practice squad, and he's going to need numbers of people to call in case of injuries, drastic or otherwise. So just make sure that you guys give it a shot and check it out. Support however you can, even if it's just a retweet or whatever on Instagram, a like, whatever. So your boy Chili, I am going to make my way out of here. Next week, we got some more stuff coming up with these Stock Rising 2027 kids. We'll probably finish February out that way. Me and Gridiron, and then Beetle going to probably do some basketball chat because the Open is underway. And your boy Chili, I'm going to make my way out of here at Just Chili, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at Just Chili. If you guys are looking, Just Chili TV, YouTube, and TikTok, make sure that you guys subscribe on YouTube. Get the chat going somehow so we can talk about this whole Coach Allen OTB thing, taking over arena football, international. I am pretty sure he is already thinking of a way to make sure that he can take a couple fans, a couple supporters internationally across the pond, wherever, to go catch a game and see a different style of life. So a different culture, all that stuff. Your boy Chili, I am out of here though officially. Happy New Year to anybody that's celebrating the Lunar New Year. I appreciate y'all. So there's that.